welcome Ali to the Scrunch Creator Economy Show. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. I'm so excited to tell your story. I obviously reached out and I saw your blog and I was so interested to, share the story with the Scrunch community. And so I know you've got Alejandra's Life is your blog, but I'd love to know how you got started. So how did everything take place? How did you become a creator?
Well, this has been quite a journey. So
Excellent.
Since 2009, to be honest. So 13 years, 14 years after, here I am. Alejandra's Life started to be a normal blog from Blogger back then.
Yeah.
And I was going through a darker period in my life. So one of the things that I used to, it was write. So
I love that.
Even if I come from architecture, then PhD in biomedicine, writing and marketing right now is my passion. So basically I use that. I started to write about art, music. Then I moved around. I started to meet new people, because back then blogging, everyone wrote a blog and the world of influencer wasn't so known. The word wasn't known back then.
Totally. It was bloggers back there. You're one of the originals. I love it.
Exactly. Even YouTube. I had a new YouTube because I was in the UK. So it was quite a journey. And I was part of the originals in the YouTube. I have 16K back now, but back then we didn't actually use that, at least not for me, because I had a daytime job and my account was stolen and they erased everything. So I just decided, oh no, this is too much. I'm not going to make, those kind of demoting things that you do.
Yeah.
But suddenly I was just meeting with a lot of people in London and they were telling me, no, of course not. You need to try again because you had quite some things. So Alejandra's Life started back then.
Wow.
And in 2012, 2013 was actually the boom of it. Right now, Alejandra's Life has a minimum of 300K of people watching per month.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, so I changed a bit about the niche that I work, of course. And I do write about business, marketing, design, because it's my area, health, because it's also my area. And I do work in lifestyle, fashion, beauty, and skincare. I am from another generation. I don't have 20 years old, so I do know what people from my age want to look and tips that actually people can follow.
Yes.
And besides of that, Alejandra's Life is actually a hub where I do have a couple of people that write and they need a platform, such as once I needed before. So I do accept a couple of guest posts and I started to create a little team and here we are.
That's so cool. I love that. And that's it. There is so much content there. That's what blows my mind. There are so many. I was looking through and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like multiple blog articles every day. This is crazy.
Yeah. So that brings that is one of the things that people before said, oh no, I'm just going to post one a week. And I started to notice back then, like, no, one a week it brings me people, but it doesn't bring me so much. And as soon as I started to send like 2, 3, 4 posts between mine and the guest post, the team that works with me, and started to go up. So yeah.
Wow, it's really, really awesome because, I love that it's a blog for starters. I mean, when we talk about creators, everyone talks about Instagram, right? or now it's, you've got to be a TikTok star. But I actually, I actually love that you're, still using the blog as a medium, because I actually really think that influencers and creators now should all have a blog. They should all have a website, because, everyone complains about the Instagram algorithm changing all the time. But if you have this home base where you can start to generate an email list, you can have, like longer form blog content that the Google search algorithm loves, then I think you have, a better chance to grow.
Exactly. I'm a marketing manager for an American company. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I brought when I started to this company is like, let's use ambassadors, for example.
Yeah.
And I just researched it and people from the niche of the company. And one of the things that I always said to my team is like, if we're going to find someone, let's find someone with a platform, with a blog. Not only having their Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media platform, but a written platform, because that will stay. And the fact is that they are major contributing they are contributing to to the company, and actually it's worth. So if you have a blog and you have so much more to offer and so much more to grow, if you have a written platform, because there are companies that will reach you out, like, we want a guest post, we want to contribute to your blog, and you will grow, you will get brand awareness. So
absolutely. Yeah. And I think that that's such a great strategy. And it's so interesting because you're on both sides. So you're the marketing manager, you're the marketing side, but you're also the creator side with your own blog and your own platform. So I love that you can actually bring both perspectives to a brand, because I totally agree with you. As marketing managers working with ambassadors or creators, finding people that can, create something that's going to last. Like an Instagram post, you see it and it's gone within a couple of days, but a blog article lives forever.
Exactly. And if we're going to talk about technicalities, it will bring you traffic, it will bring you brand awareness, it will bring you people, it will bring you clients.
Yes.
So
links back to your website. Yes.
Links.
Oh, I love that so
all the
much.
way.
Yes. Oh, that's so smart. I really, really love it. So talk to me about the, because you mentioned you've got like a hub of writers for your own blog and your own platform. What's it been like working with other people and bringing them into the platform? Like, how have you managed that?
Basically, people reach out to me asking, listen, I do have a couple of ideas for your blog. There are from your niche. You can choose from these posts, and I will write for you. Of course, unfortunately, I cannot accept everyone, of course, because I do write my own content. And I don't want, there is also a thing, we can release 2, 3, 4 posts per day. But if you send more, it will become a spam. So Google will grab you and tag you as a spammer. So the fact is that from those people that are working with me now, they have worked with me now, I created a little friendship. They know what I like to post. They have a couple of guidelines that are on the written content. They are happy because I'm helping them, and they are helping me because that is true honesty. And that kind of a hub creates like what I call, and sometimes you can see on the blog post, it belongs to Alejandra's family team. So people come and go, which is known, of course. They change, or sometimes they stop writing. But we always connected on social media, and we create a little team and a little family. So it's quite nice.
I love that. And it's such a great idea because it allows you to put out more content, but get help to do it as well.
Exactly. Sometimes there are days that, we don't have time or we are too tired. And these people, they are working for them and they are helping us. So,
Yeah.
of course, always a big
Yeah.
thank you for them.
That's so cool. I think about that. I'm like, some days the ideas just don't come to me for a blog article. Oh, that's so awesome. No, I love that. So do you do much in the social media space, or do you focus mostly on the blog?
I do on social media place, but there is a thing. I do focus more on the blog, of course. Let's be honest, it's what brings us money.
Yeah.
My social media is divided.
Okay,
So
cool.
each one of them is divided. There are the Instagram, I have two Instagram accounts, one more professional, and the other one is more influencer.
Yep.
I have a bunch of companies from the UK, the US, and Australia, and France, and works with me for that specific account. There are other companies for Twitter, other companies for traveling on my YouTube, which is basically for travel.
Yep.
And my social media are different platforms on their own. So normally people tend to think, no, because she only does this. But no, if you go to my Twitter, is more like my LinkedIn is more professional, more business oriented, more marketing oriented. Travel. So it's different platforms for different niches.
Yeah.
Because I do have several niches. Just like our brain, normally they tell you that our brain is, you use 10% of our brain. Yeah. And I'm completely against that. Why shouldn't you use more?
Yeah, I love that.
Similar to focusing on one niche, you like several things. So why don't you pick up like a couple of them? In my case, there are 5 to 6, and talk about that, because we are humans. We don't think about one thing daily. So that's why it is divided.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting.
Platforms.
I love it. I love two things that you said. Firstly, have multiple passions, write about multiple things, don't just, hone in on one thing. But I also love how you said the blog is actually the strongest part. The blog is actually the biggest part, which is, so different. Like a lot of creators go, oh, well, I have to be on Instagram first. That's got to be my focus, or I have to be on TikTok. I actually love that the blog is the focus, because I think that there is a real untapped opportunity. I think, 10 years ago, we were all bloggers, and then fast forward today, everyone's an Instagrammer. So I actually feel like there's a new opportunity for blogs again, which is so exciting.
And one of the positive things that brought us the pandemic is that people actually staying at home while working. For me, remote working is normal for decades by now. But actually, people started to read more. Yeah. And I noticed that in these past 2 years, normally I would have like between 50K to 100K, which was good. Now, in these 2 years, I just grew up a lot. Wow. So people are writing more, are reading more, are commenting more. And the other thing that this pandemic brought is like the mental health awareness. People were so stressed out to post daily, to post. I'm speaking about myself as well. That actually you just stress so much because you were lacking information, you were lacking time, you were feeling sick. Friends weren't working with you because they weren't working at all. Yeah. So I decided, you know what? You don't need to, even if you need to constantly and be constant on social media, you don't need to post about new things. And another rule, which is a rule set on myself, is like posting positive things. Yes, I love that. Yep. Posting positive things. Just be positive. Just smile. Just, share tips, because keeping tips to yourself, it's not good. People need to know about these things. So be positive in everything you do.
I think you're so right. Like people, obviously there was this whole period of time where we were all stuck at home. So we all consumed so much more content. And I love that thought that, yes, it moved to longer form blog and video content. But also you're so right. Like the opportunity now is if you share the things that you know, so the tips, the tricks, and yes, make them positive, make them uplifting. We all need that in our life. That's where I think a huge opportunity is for even new creators coming through. I think there's actually room for new people to start in this biz.
Of course, there's always people to start. There was one person that asked me, this was, I think, back in 2016. We were in an event in London, and basically she asked me, because I was talking to her and suddenly I was giving her tips, and she was like, hold on, but aren't you afraid of me? She told me this, of me being your nemesis on this, because we're on the same page. We are both bloggers. And I told her, and I was like, because I don't think that way. It's not rooted in me. And I was like, very, very naively, what are you talking about? No, because I can pick this and I can share them as my own. And I told her, please do, because I don't see myself or in anything that I do in life. And that is one of the things that I teach my son, is like, I don't have nemesis. If I share with an open heart. It's not, I don't have people against me. That's not how I think. It's not a positive way of watching life or people. And that is something that people need to understand, that there will always be open spaces for new people, for new niches, for, there is room for everyone. So why not share?
It's so true. And when you think about how many people there are on the planet and how much content we're consuming, one person isn't going to own everything and own all the ideas and all of the markets and all of the platforms. Like, you're so right. There is room for everybody to flourish.
Of course. And we need to break that in world, So just be happy, because happy spreads.
Yes.
Similar to the other way, but happiness spreads. And even if, because it can happen, and it did happen to me, even if you share and people will grab that and use that, and they will never speak to you, never feel sad, or never felt like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't. No, be happy for that person, because in some moment, in any moment, that person, even after years, it will come to you and say, you know what, thank you very much, and this happened to me. And I told her, I have been following you and I'm very happy about you and your career, so glad that I could be of some little help for that. So,
well, you essentially were the inspiration for that person, or for many people, I'm sure.
Hopefully a good one. So
yeah, well,
I mean, have some inspiration.
I think it's such a great way to look at it. How about we look at inspiring other people rather than competing with other people?
I think that, and being humble, because 20 years ago it would be unimaginable for us to posting a picture and being paid for it, or having to do a podcast, for example, and speaking with someone from the other side of the world. And it's an amazing times that we have been living this past decades. The amount of growth that we can have because of the new tools that we have been given.
It's so true. Do you have any advice for creators who might be just starting out, if they're looking at, someone like you and thinking, oh my God, she has hundreds of thousands of views. How will I ever make it? Do you have any advice for people who are just starting out?
Yeah, of course. Just be you. Don't try to be anyone else. You can have your gurus. You can have the people that you like to follow. If if you follow someone, or if you try to copy or try to use their picture, or imagining makeup, you try to recreate, tag that creator. They will love that. They won't feel against you. They will share about you, because that is how we create links on blogging, how we create links, groups of friends online. And that is just be you. Like, if you have something in you that you want to send it, even if you know that it's 1,000 more people, 1 billion more people doing the same as you, just be you. Be happy on that. Be happy what you're doing, because if you're doing something that makes you happy, it's not a job at all. So you will feel like it's part of you. So if you're making something that it's not making you happy, then it's not for you. So just try to find you online and just be you, basically.
I love that is literally the best advice ever, because I think that, you know, in the content creator world, you know, you do have to show up every day. You know, you do have to invest time and energy. And if you don't love it and you're not being yourself, then that makes it super hard to get up every day and do it.
Super hard. And sometimes we don't have time, or sometimes the ideas aren't quite there, and you're stressed. And then it becomes, you don't sleep, you don't eat. So you just constantly thinking about that, and that shouldn't be like that. You should be doing what you love.
I love it. That's so good. That's so good. That is the best advice. That's just great life advice, I think. And so what do you think? That. Yes. So what do you think is next for creators and influencers in the world? What do you think that we should be looking to the future for?
My bet is that because we are living these past 2 years, everything will start to be about meeting people outside. I think that people will start to travel more, to meet people that you have met online, to try and go to events, conferences. And I'm watching that. I'm seeing that, because I just agreed to go to a couple of conferences and meetings. And it's actually, people are happy about that. People are happy to see people. And they are also like sending messages, oh, it's going to be so nice to see you finally after these 2 years, or I'm going to finally meet you. You don't know me, but I have been following you, and I'm going to be there as well. And normally you look at that and see, who is this talker now? But people are happy about that. Of course, with all the security that you need, but people are going to start to go more outside. And I do know that a couple of YouTubers, they are going for events on YouTube itself on different countries. I couldn't be there, but I know it was fun. But for example, TikTok is planning a couple of events online in real life, you know, outside with the sun, with people. And it will be fun. So I think that people will start filming, sharing, writing more in the outside, because people appreciate that. People give value to that now.
I think you're spot on. I mean, I know myself, like, just, you know, the craving is I've got to get out into the sunshine, got to get out into the fresh air. You know, it's, you know, as a creator and a business owner, it's so easy just to, you know, stay inside at your laptop, you know, on your phone, doing all the things. So I love the idea of, you know, getting back into events and getting back outside and sharing that content with everyone. I think I think you're spot on.
And we all love a little bit of sunshine. So
so good.
Just close the laptop and just breathe. This podcast episode has been like amazing pieces of life advice, not just for creators.
Oh, so good. Well, Ali, thank you so much for joining us here on the Scrunch Creator Economy Show. You are incredible and an absolute inspiration. You've inspired me to go and write a blog article now. So thank you. And thank you for sharing.
I can help you.
And thank you for sharing your wisdom with the Scrunch community. It's been amazing.
Thank you very much, Danielle. It was a pleasure, and hopefully to see more podcasts.